move away and do a little bit of this air.
Rhymes Arcade, Rhymes Arcade, where the games get played and the games get saved so they can be played on another day. Rhymes Arcade.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I'm your host, Mr. Rob French. We are hanging out here in Rob's pad in Los Santos, I'm guessing California, on this beautiful Sunday. It is June 8th, I believe. Yes, June 8th. And it's Sunday morning, just kind of hanging out here. I'm off of work, and I thought I would just kind of hang out with you guys and do what I've been doing here lately and revisiting this virtual show. I love this. In fact, I think I kind of need to change up my hair a little bit. I've actually just had some people commenting who watch my channel, and they're just like, "Dude, I love this like um, version of your show. Um, this is like it's amazing how closely the character resembles you with just like some of the tattoo placements and the hairstyles and the facial hair, just all of that stuff. So I've been enjoying this. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying this, and it just gives me a chance to give you guys something a little bit more interesting to look at while I'm talking, other than just like walking around and just showing my stupid face in the camera all the time. Which I mean, I still do those from time to time, of course, but there's just something very relaxing, very cool about this kind of setup. It's very, like I said, kind of talk show hosty, if you will. And I just really, I really enjoy it. And I've gotten some, like I said, just some cool feedback from some folks who haven't seen it in a while or haven't seen it at all. Had a couple people who have never seen this, and then one of my friends just kind of being like, "Oh, dude, yeah, I remember. Like, it's crazy, like how you can change your hair to match like how your hair has changed over the years and months and whatever." So anyway, welcome back. We are just kind of like I said, hanging out. It's the beginning of June. I kind of wanted to touch base. I've been wrapping up, unpacking May, if you will, and kind of what that's looked like with my job and just some of the things that I deal with my 9 to 5, if you will, which is never a 9 to 5. It's more like a 10 to 11 or a 10 to 8, sometimes a 12 to 8. But this week has been just really cool. It's been really relaxing as far as just some of the things that I have to get done just aren't there anymore. Um, a lot of my weekends consist of prepping for Monday, and then Monday prepping for Tuesday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are crazy. Fridays are sometimes it's just there's always a lot. There's in between that, there's emails to send out, there's things to follow up on, there's receipts to code, there's just all these little bits and pieces. And so this week, I mean, trust me, there's lots going on. It's not like it's a vacation by any means, or I'm getting a chance to kind of just like put it in cruise control and kick my feet up on a desk and um, unwind for a while. But it's just been super nice at work, super relaxing. And then also, it's just really cool. Like before, my office was kind of tucked in the back. Like we have different areas for different types of programming and things going on that we do. And a lot of times where I'm at, it's kind of more of a youth side, if you will, and there's more um, programming that's geared towards like that after school kind of hours and the afternoons, and then just when like school's out and that sort of thing. But other than that, it's quiet, like the main heart of the building and the main meat and everything that's happening, the real magic, if you will, is taking place on the other side. And I'm one of those, like, I'll do emails and I'll do things and do whatever. And then after a while, and I say a while, sometimes it could be only 20 or 30 minutes, I have to get up. I have to get up, stretch my legs a little bit and walk around, get some blood flowing, head down the hallway and go check on folks from time to time and just see how they're doing, see what's going on. And it's nice. I get a chance to walk around, catch up with people, say hi to everybody. But then I'm back on my side, and it just gets kind of quiet. And what is the purpose of this? Who put this in here? I just don't even know. I didn't realize it went all the way down here. Um, can I sit in this? I should be able to sit in this chair. This is a weird chair too. Like, what do? Like, you sit here. I guess this would be cool, like to read. You know, just grab one of these books here. Let's see what we have. We have City Night, Johnny Tong, moneymoneymoney.com, or Johnny Tong. I guess this is Johnny Tong is maybe the guy who does some of those, like, do you want to be rich? Do you want a fancy car? Do you want a big boat with lots of blonde women with IQs less than your age? Then follow my simple program. Liberty City pop art. That's pretty cool. But I guess, yeah, the idea is I just grab one of these books and then come over here and sit down and read for a little while. And then we have here. So this would be a great example of kind of like, I have an office. Oh, that's hilarious. I actually have a basketball in my office. That is too crazy. But so like this would be my office, and I would be in here and just kind of hanging out and yeah, by myself. And then I have to like, oh well, let me get up and go walk around and go see what's what. Well now, people will just literally, quite honestly, just pop into the office. I'm like right up front, right there, as you walk in and everything. So there's like a lot of just buzz and energy and life and everything just kind of like flowing around the office. And so it's just nice, in terms of from time to time I'll just be in my office, typing up something, adding a slide to a um, PowerPoint or something, and somebody will just pop in and be like, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on?" Da, 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 da. It's like, "Oh, I was playing this video game," or "Hey, have you seen this new Marvel show?" or whatever. And it's just nice. It's really cool. It's a very nice, refreshing change of pace. It's just been a really good, solid week. So, like, as I've been, like I said, unpacking May, I kind of wanted to start putting some pieces into what June is starting to look like and when it gets starting to shape up to be. We're not quite done. We're not quite finished with all the teen programming. In fact, next week I have a trip that we're going to be taking up into the mountains, which is going to be really cool. And then I'm actually going to be helping out with like a overnight kind of lock-in situation to help another club prepare as you know we um, get them ready to go up to the mountain as well. So I still got some team stuff going on. But like I said, it's just been a really cool change of pace, and just the overall um, week has been just, pretty decent. Can't really complain too much. I had to work a little bit yesterday, um, but just for a few hours, and then I was able to kind of come home and it's been really like a lot of, oh, this is cool. I was talking about this the other day when like the weather sort of matches outside and in the video game. It's not really raining right now, but it has been kind of cloudy and dreary and misty over the last few days. So I always just love when the weather kind of matches up. But yeah, just been a lot of weeks of like 6 days, 7 days straight, 6 days here. It's a lot. It's been a lot. Like I said, just wrapping up everything that I've been doing and then switching gears, helping with summer camp and just everything else. There has been a lot on my plate. It's been a different pace, a different vibe. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot. And I don't know. I've noticed too, like I feel in the same sense when I was working overnight. I did it for so long. I really didn't know what I was missing. And I do feel like working with teens, there is this pressure, and it's almost like it's gone. Like there's um, a few times where I'll send that shot of Spider-Man holding the ship together with a bunch of strands of web, or he's like trying to keep the two pillars of concrete from crushing him, and he's like pushing them up off of his head. Both from Spider-Man Homecoming, by the way. But there's like those two images that always just kind of pop into my head whenever I'm thinking about Spider-Man and Peter Parker and everything, and kind of like what I do, and just like that pressure, just like trying to keep it all together and hold all the parts and hold all the pieces. And um, not only is it just that like summer's here and like that programming piece is done, but also the fact that like, okay, well, I'm not going to be responsible for this going forward. Like this isn't up to me. This is going to be falling into somebody else's hands, and now my focus can be really like more what I enjoy doing. I mean, it's like it's just that the personal engagement, um, helping people out, helping them get what they want. And like I had a lady like literally like holding my hand the other day and like, oh, thank you, this was so good. I'm so glad I came in. This is perfect. And then those are the kind of pieces that I need, throughout my day, and just to kind of help keep me going. I'm trying to think. Oh, I had my lady friend actually pop by and surprise me on Thursday, which was just again one of those pieces where it's like, okay, I've got all these hours, I've been racking up, I need to get out early, and it wound up working out just perfect. And she was actually able to come by and see me and hang out for the evening, hang out for the night, and it was just a really another piece of it. Like this has been like a really cool, nice week. Everything's been pretty smooth. Been getting some nice workouts in again, and then had a nice little surprise on Thursday. Friday was an extremely short day itself, and so it's just been nice to try to get some of this downtime that I haven't really been able to enjoy and accumulate in the past either. Because, like I said, even on my weekends where I might typically be, um, supposed to be like, just kind of relaxing and maybe prepping for my week, I'm trying to figure out emails, but then I'm also like, just all kinds of different things. And so like I can't count how many Sundays there have been where I've been off, but because of just like communications and messages back and forth and that sort of thing, I don't feel like I'm off. I remember so many times my supervisor would be like in these group chats with me and some of my counterparts and stuff like that, and all these messages are going off on like Saturday and Sunday afternoon, and she's just like, "Look, can we table this until Monday? Like this is, my day off, his day off. Can we just try to enjoy that one thing that we're given each week? Especially like on those days where it's like, I would work on a Saturday to do like a community event or something, and so I'm really relishing having that full Sunday off. And it's like as soon as like I flick on the game box, um, you know, to play some Fort Shooter with my homeboys, the phone starts buzzing, and we got like, "Hey, did you take a look at this?" And "Hey, can we take a look at that?" And what's going to, and it's a lot. Um, Today I have a meeting at 6, but it's nothing that like you know, we haven't already prepped and planned for and kind of gotten together already. And so it's like I literally just have to, show up, help maybe set up a little bit or whatever. And, there's not a lot of thought to it. There's not a lot of work that goes into it. It's already been done. It's been done throughout the week. It's been done on the hours while I'm there. So like I said, it's a very different vibe. Even like I said, not to slam or put down anybody that I've been working with or doing anything with, but like I can already tell like this collaboration with the counterpart I'm sharing an office with now. Sorry, I think my mic was cutting out a little bit there. Excuse me. Um, this office that I'm sharing now, and the guy I'm working with now, like I said, I think it'll be a very good change. Like I said, we're in the office at the same time, and this is his job. Like this, again, um, it's like my other counterpart had a struggle and had like something or hurdles to overcome because just our schedules themselves would be somewhat conflicting and didn't quite always, line up. And it's not easy trying to, collaborate and put things together. Um, when you just don't have time to really connect and work those pieces out. So um, it's just been really, I have been, I've just, I say it's been a really good week. I guess I can kind of wrap up with some of this because this has been bothering me. And it's like, it's something that I can't quite figure out. And I don't even know if I really should be overthinking maybe it's just it is. It's just maybe it's just, it is what it is. Just what it is. You know, one of those things. It is what it is. But my sister just has not been doing too hot. In fact, she's had a couple of trips to the emergency room, and it's nothing too serious. It's nothing like life threatening, but it's just been something that's been bothering her, and she's been trying to figure out, and it's just been kind of stressing her out and everything. And I, I just don't, I don't have the best relationship with my sister. And in fact, it's like in the past, um, I've been kind of like cut out, shut out numerous times before, and we're kind of in a holding pattern like that right now, where it's just like we're just not really talking, we're not really close, we're not really connected, and I just, I'm at this point, we're adults. It's not like we're kids anymore, and I'm just kind of fed up with like, conversations and things being thrown in my face, and um, conversations that aren't even are like basically behind my back, like things I'm not even involved with, conversations about me, things that I do that I'm not even involved with. And at this point in my life, like I said, I'm not there anymore. I'm not there to um, play these little back and forth games and what have you. And I just feel like if there's issues, like we can sit down like adults and talk about it. But it's just never been that kind of relationship. It's just never been that easy. And it's just been, you know, a few good months here, a few good months there, and then just, turmoil. And like I said, things either being like, thrown in my face or, twisted out of sorts or used against me. And just, like I said, I just, at this point, I'm just kind of done with it. But she hasn't been doing well. And I've just been like super conflicted because there's like a part of me that wants to be like, hey, like I hope you're doing okay, blah blah blah. But then there's this other part of me that's just like, dude, like she doesn't really care about you. Like, every argument and every discussion that you guys have ever had, or if there's any kind of disagreement, she has always tried to like belittle you and put you down, and make you feel worthless. And, I mean, like even things like just having emotions and just being upset about certain things. Like you're just not allowed to be upset, and you're just not allowed to feel certain ways, and you're just not allowed to do these things because that's like an attack against her. Like feeling a certain way and having your own opinions and thoughts, if they don't align, it's like an attack. So it's like, how do you how do you try to care about somebody who's like just basically like in the last conversations that you had with them. This is, again, I'm not trying to get into like a whole, like open a whole can of worms with this, but in the last conversation, like there were certain things that she said about me like you just can't really take back. And I know how I am when I'm around her. Like she, literally brings out like just this seething anger in me. Like, just able to push those buttons and just really activate me. And I don't like that. And so I almost prefer to kind of like keep my distance as well because of that. Like why allow myself to get worked up and feel hurt and feel anger. But it's tough because, like I said, I know she's going through it right now, and there's a part of me that wants to be there because I am her brother. But it's kind of like, and I hate to say it like this, but it's almost just having like, an alligator or something, or um, like a snapping turtle, and like you're trying to pet it. You always want to just cuddle with this thing. You just want to pet it, and it takes your finger off every time you stick your hand near it. And it's like, how do you feel bad for something like that when it's not feeling good, or it's sick, or it's even got a cold or something like that, and then you go to try to comfort it, and again it's try to bite your bite your hand off, and it's like it's tough. And so I don't know, these last couple of days I've been kind of conflicted with that. And like I said, she had a similar instance happen a few weeks ago. And like I said, she's fine. Like there's nothing, like it's not like a life threatening situation, but it's got her upset, and it's got my mom bothered enough to a point where it is weighing on me. Like I said, and I want to reach out. I do, but there's part of me that's just like, for what, dude? Like you can say, okay, I hope you feel better. I'm worried about you, that sort of thing. and you're going to get that, oh, thanks a lot. But then, like, what happens when she is feeling better and you say something she doesn't agree with, and then she turns and she snaps again, and it's just almost like um, that fear of that, like having that wasted energy, that wasted time. And I feel like that's exactly what happened this last time. It was just so much wasted time and energy where I thought, like, as my father had, was passing, we were able to put some of our differences behind us and you know get over some of our bullshit. And then a year later or a year and a half later or whatever it is later, when something happens and I don't know, like it doesn't line up with her whatever. Um, she just lays into me, and just literally, um, like she had been holding back, and just like been waiting for a reason. And then to find out like all the time we had spent together and all this was just like her, you know, um, playing a part, basically. Like, I think being cordial or being civil or something was what she was saying. I was just trying to be civil with you or cordial with you or something. And, here I am thinking, like, oh, like birthdays, and we're doing events and Christmases and holidays here because you care. And it was just, nope, just being civil, and so it's like, so do I want to extend an olive branch and be like, hey, here, I hope for what? For, oh, thank you so much, and I appreciate that, and you're so nice, and what does that open a door for me to then start hanging out with her and like, checking on her, or oh, let me go make sure she's okay, and then again, if she does something and I have an opinion or I whatever react to a degree that she doesn't appreciate, that I just get laid into again. And so that's kind of where I've been at with that the last couple of days, and it's been tough. Um, and like I want to also, like my mom is worried, so like I kind of want to be there and try to help support that. But then it's like, no, if I let myself do that, I'm just setting myself up to be hurt or angered or disillusioned or let down or whatever. Um, Once again, and it's not like this is just this one time. I mean, it's time after time after time. Since I mean, I mentioned earlier, I used to work overnight, and I didn't realize what I was missing working overnight. And I worked overnight for like 15 years or so, and I'm talking back when I first started working overnight. So some of that first started 20 years ago. 25 15 years. I mean, it's been forever. So it's been forever that this has been going on, and it's just I just can't do it anymore. But it is hard. It's like, how do you just like flick that switch off and just be like, oh, yeah, well, hope you're doing all right. I'll send my thoughts and my prayers via the conduit of positive thinking. But as far as like getting involved and calling and checking in on you, or even sending you a card, it's like it feels like such a waste of time and energy, and it's sad. It makes me sad to be to be here at that point and to just be like, all right, that's kind of like where, and I know not like all family and all siblings, um, get along 100% and all the time, but I feel like whenever there's like a crisis, I mean, again, even when my father was like you know, not doing well and all of that, like that kind of helped bring us together. So you would think like in the moments of like those kinds of things, it like just ultimately does bring you together. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like at this point, and it sucks. It really does. Again, it reminds me, I don't know, something like almost like 10 years ago or so when we were on the outs, and then again before we moved to Florida, we were on the outs, and just like it's just always kind like always having these conversations with coworkers about siblings, and like they're like, "Don't you have a sister?" And it's like, "Yeah, I do have a sister." And they're like, waiting for me to tell these stories, and it's just like I would rather not talk about her, to be honest. Just rather not. Do we start with all the birthdays she would ruin by starting arguments with all of my friends, like, to the point where it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and people are just like screaming in the living room over recycling issues and stuff, policies. Like we've got nothing better to talk about um, on a Saturday night, somebody's birthday party. We're all going out drinking, and it's just, I think it's just it'd be crazy. I remember one night it was like I think it was another birthday party of mine, like family hiding in my room, like my sister and my mom screaming at each other, and like cousins and friends and family like just like hiding in my room trying to avoid that whole situation. Um, and so, like I said, it's not just this one instance. It's been years and years and years and years of this. Um, but even so, with all of those like pieces and all the things that add it all together, it does just make it I don't know, makes it tough to kind of to piece together and to kind of like how that lighting just changed right there, to kind of deal with, you know. But anyway, that's my alarm going off. Trying to make, it's a good time to wrap this up. This is a good point and a good place to kind of to wrap this up with. Um, like I said, everything has been going, pretty good at work, and it's been a good vibe, and just been enjoying the conversations. Actually, having adults to hang out with and talk with during the week and stuff like that. And just the weather's been pretty decent. It's been a really great start to the month of June. Um, so far, and I hope it continues to trend. Like I said, we got a trip in about a week, which I'm really excited. It's crazy to think it's already coming up. And then after that, I'll be fully kind of like disengaged from what I used to do, and fully 10 toes standing strong on what I do now. So anyway, thanks for just kind of hanging out. Let me talk about some of this. Let me unpack some of this. I like these, like I said, cool conversations. It kind of seems like it wraps up a whole day here at Los Santos. Like we've just been kind of hanging out, and now the sun's going down, and it's time to say goodnight. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Maybe this isn't your kind of thing or ticket, but maybe you got a friend out there who would be into something like this. And make sure you like the video as well. Just watching helps, but getting all those likes up really helps a lot. So if everybody could watch, hit that like button for me, and then even hop down the comment section. Let me know what you think, what you got going on, maybe your opinion on what I've got going on. Share your own experiences, stories, and things like that. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Make sure you take care of yourself, take care of each other, and until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Take care. Good night.